Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's time for Chapter 1. We got training and all that loud audio out of the way. So now it's time for the Boobytrap. And here we can actually customize the Robotech. Two options here, the VF1A and the 1D that we were using in training. The D is bigger, of course. You know, it's a D compared to an A, of course. As much as I like D more than A gives just overall more stats, so I'm going with that. Our design is just the color scheme. We've got Jack, the main character. This is what he prefers. The trainer model, and then a generic sort. Going Jack.
My name is Jack Archer.
Jack Archer.
I'm a pilot of the Robotech Defense Force. I was born just before the global war. My parents died soon after the war began, so I had to learn how to survive on my own. Sometimes I wonder what kind of person I might have been if things were different. It's one of my darkest fears. If you took the war out of me, would there be anything left? The global war had been going on for a long time. All the experienced pilots were dead. My government was desperate, and the draftees started getting younger and younger. I needed a way to escape all that misery on the ground, so I didn't mind much when I got drafted. Flight training came easy to me. It was like I was meant to be a pilot. They said I had a rare talent, but somehow I didn't see it that way. After a few years, the government dissolved. I became a mercenary, hiring out to any nation that could afford me. I didn't care, just so long as I stayed up in the clouds where I could forget about all the troubles down on Earth. The war ended in a single day. All it took was a miracle. A gigantic alien spaceship broke through hyperspace on a collision course with the Earth and crashed into a small island in the South Pacific called Macross Island. The leaders of the world's nations called a ceasefire and assembled the most brilliant minds of the time to examine the spaceship and assess the possible threat of alien invasion. The evidence they found pointed to a highly advanced civilization with technology far beyond what we had on Earth, something the scientists called Robotechnology. But there was an even greater discovery. The scientists found a supply of protoculture aboard the ship, a new and nearly inexhaustible energy source used to power the alien machines. The spaceship was some kind of advanced warship, bristling with powerful weaponry. They called it the Super Dimension Fortress, or the SDF-1 for short. They began rebuilding the ship as they unlocked the secrets of Robotechnology.
And that's
After
it.
the arrival
So
of the SDF-1, work kind of dried up for a while.
yeah.
With the war over, no one wanted to hire mercenaries. The world was at peace for the first time I can remember, and I was starting to get used to the idea. Those were happy times. I had been living in Macross City, helping to rebuild the SDF-1. I was just getting used to my new life when Roy Fokker, the legendary Skull leader himself, recognized me as I was getting off work. We had met a few times during the war. Sometimes I was on his side, and sometimes I flew against him. Over the years, we ended up forming a friendship. He told me he needed pilots to join a new military outfit called the Robotech Defense Force. Roy said they had some new kind of high-performance fighter that could beat anything I ever flew. They called it a Robotech. I made Roy prove it to me, fighter to fighter. Why did the military need a transforming fighter? It was well known that the aliens were warriors, but there was one detail that was kept from the public. In a top-secret debriefing, we were informed that evidence from the crash indicated the aliens were 40-foot-tall giants. The RDF developed the Robotech fighter to fight the aliens on their own terms. It would mean the difference between survival and extinction. After my training, I was stationed with the carrier Prometheus on Macross Island. On the day the final construction of the SDF-1 was completed, the entire city prepared to celebrate. That was when the Zentradi arrived. The SDF-1 belonged to them, and they were determined to take it back.
You got all that? Just in case you didn't, on the day the people of Macross Island were celebrating the completion of the SDF-1, the aliens in Zentradi arrived in Earth's orbit, determined to take back the space fortress. You have been dispatched to meet the threat head-on. The mission is to help Wolf and Skull Squadron turn back the alien threat. And by the way, if you've picked up an item in Guardian mode, you can't transform until you've dropped it. You see, the other forms may, what, Roboid? What was the first form again? Battloid. The Battloid may have hands, but both hands are on the gun. You can't hold an item if you're holding a gun. How can you hold your children if you have nuclear arms? That's all I'm saying.
We are under attack by alien invaders in Sector 412. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. All forces proceed in battle formation.
Well, boys, you heard her. This is the real thing.
That's Roy,
Destroy all targets.
my friend.
We've got to cut them off before they reach Macross City.
Roy's got the Skull Squadron decal going on.
Move to intercept invaders.
I think if you speedrun this mission, you do unlock that color scheme? Or is that sometime later? I don't know. There's some weird, like, thing like that. I don't know. But anyway, time for our first actual mission of life. Missiles are your friends. You can see your allies' health. This may or may not be important at all. So it's not like if you see them at low health, it's like, oh, I have to protect them. You can't. Everyone has ranged attacks. You don't have shields. Although I guess you could drop chaff. But ideally, you're going to want to use the missiles at range, and in close range, you use the machine gun, let's say. Or no, I have to kill a certain amount of enemies? There's some trigger to get that color. And I just can't remember it. Or maybe I'm completely wrong in every facet of this. Huh. My inane ramblings will continue. Oh, right. I can transform if I wanted to. But in situations like this, you kind of don't want to be transformed. Unless you Guardian mode for the maneuverable missiles. I may have shot that guy down as a Battloid. Enemies are spawning kind of continuously, and they really only have these little fighter planes. I try to remember... They taught me how to target things, and I've already forgotten. I don't often do things back to back to back to back, so a lot of the information I learn, or have learned over millions of years ago, kind of falls out of my head.
Time to take these guys to school.
And that school is the School of Hard Knocks. So far we're doing a good job of cleaning them all up. The machine gun makes quick work of things in close range. I shoot his rockets with mine. Time for a maneuver. Enemies? One down. I was hoping for them in close range, the maneuverable light missiles can make a difference. Someone's excited. Woo. somebody's in Guardian mode. Look at that.
I'm gonna make you eat those.
Is that Roy?
Skull
Roy.
here calling Wolf 10. We've got more enemy readings in your area, and they're heading for those Sea Sergeant helicopters. Get up there and intercept them. I'm on it.
So now we begin the time-honored tradition of escort missions. We have little helicopter dinguses, and we have to protect them.
Yeah, that's right. Jack the Giant killed.
Where are you, Wolf 10?
Shut up. But also, talk more to me. Oh, they're actually not doing well. Oh dear. Wait, these are my friends. These are not the helicopters. Uh-oh.
Yeah!
You're not a helicopter. Now where? There they are. Wait, the helicopter's doing just fine. What? Just wanted my attention, I see. Come on. Die! Die!
Skull leader to
Whew.
crew. You guys head back to the Prometheus. I've got some business to take care of in town.
SDF-1 control to Wolf Squadron. As soon as you are refueled and rearmed, proceed to Macross City to defend assigned sectors.
It didn't look like I was falling into a city. Did not look like I was falling into a city. Felt like I was just falling into nothing. But here's the mission complete scene as before. You have your accuracy with each weapon types. 20% accuracy with the gun, which is, I mean, it's an aerial mission, it's not easy. And 65% with the missiles. And only under 6 minutes. Which isn't too shabby. But I do think I'm going to call it there. So next time, we're going to count down to victory. See you then.